Hello, everybody. Self-actualization is something that people ask themselves if it's possible to achieve in this current society of ours. Every human being on earth is asking themselves if they could actually fulfill their purpose on earth before finally joining their ancestors. And today we'll be looking into this very interesting topic. Is self-actualization truly achievable, or is it a myth? Hello, everybody. You're welcome to the Lifestyle Show here on What TV. I still remain your girl and the host for the show, EJ. Thank you all very much for your consistency, for your follow-up. Thank you very much for always following us back to back. We extend our gratitude to all our fans. Once again, you all are welcome. With me in the studio today are two lovely people. Very, should I say, a face you guys are familiar with. They've turned celebrity. You know, they are celebs actually. Okay, I'll begin with the lady. Hello, ma. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Is that smile for me? What's your name, please?
Okay, I'm Promise Emmanuel, known as Promsy.
Okay.
I'm a film actor, entrepreneur, and teacher too.
All right, ma. Thank you very much for joining us. You guys are very familiar with Miss Promise here. She comes like regularly. You get anytime we call her, she comes. Thank you, ma, for always coming.
Thanks for having me.
And then we have here. Hello, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Majesty Israel Ogweze.
Okay.
I'm a filmmaker. I'm a teacher and a businessman.
Oh. All right then. Thank you, sir, for joining us. So thank you both for coming. Okay, we got your busy schedule. You guys are able to come. Thank you very much. All right. So the topic is self-actualization truly achievable. We'll begin with understanding what self-actualization is first. What do you think? What is self-actualization to you, Mr. Majesty?
All right. When we talk about this self-actualization,
All right.
it's a process. You understand? It's a process in which you get to realize, and when you realize, then you fulfill the potential you have within you.
Oh,
you understand?
Okay.
It is a process. It is not something that is just there. It's a process. You have to undergo some things. You understand your potential and then your capabilities to do some things.
All right. Thank you very much. How about you?
Just as I said, you're just realizing your abilities, your talent, your strengths, or your weakness in order to achieve a set goal, target.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Miss Promise, is it something that is already existing, self-actualization?
Self-actualization, no. It's something one discovers.
Okay.
It's not the waiting for you. It takes one's ability to discover what your strengths are. For me to actualize something, it means I have already seen it. I need to work on it. So it's a process.
Okay. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I agree with her, because self-actualization is not something that is there. You are the one that is going to
actualize it.
It's a process. You understand? It's a journey, actually. You need to, first of all, realize that there is a potential somewhere, and then you need to drive at it.
Okay. Now, does it find you or you find it?
You find it. It wouldn't find you.
How?
Now, let's take, for example, if you're a singer or you've been blessed with a good voice, if you don't try singing, you wouldn't know you're a good singer. Until you try singing, then you know you're a good singer. So if you keep mute, the voice will be there. So it's not going to find you. So until you move forward to find it, then you meet it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Is it true?
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with her, because it is not something that you will sit and it will drive towards you. You are going to make a move. That's why I said it's a journey, it's a process.
But some people find it. Because I've heard of talent that we are rather discovered. Do you get? You hear stories of people that come to talk about them stories, and they tell you that I was discovered. So it's rather someone actually found them, not the other way around.
That's the process. Yes. Whether someone found you or you found it yourself, there's a process there. It didn't just meet you. If those people that said someone found them, nobody found them, I'm not sure they will realize that self-actualization. It's not possible.
Okay.
Even before someone can actually discover you,
it means you did something.
Yes. You need to make a move. You need to at least set up a goal or be doing something someone will see and be like, okay, this one is actually having some potential. Let me help. If you sit and fold your hand, nobody is going to remind you. You understand? Until you voice out or you react or you act to some certain things, that is when someone who can say, okay, I think there's something in this boy.
Let me invest in it.
Let me invest. That is where the discovery.
So until you yourself even find yourself, nobody finds you.
Nobody finds you.
So, Mr. Majesty, you that is a filmmaker now, let's say before you can even say you want to work with an artist, let's say you see the person naturally just does something outside and maybe little play, maybe like a baby. But you see the baby always doing some acts, trying to imitate some actors, do you get, or actresses. Maybe he or she has watched and is trying to imitate them characters, in reality, and then you see it. You don't just approach the child. Is it that the child has already found that and then you saw it and you're like, okay, you know what, come, I can do this for you, or I can do that for you?
For my field now, since it is all about acting, you don't just see a child or someone doing something for the first time and then you just say,
this person can do it.
No. You need to take critical observation. You understand? You need to observe. If it is something he or she is constantly doing, you can now say, okay, this person is having this kind of thing. Okay, let me see if I can actually bring him or her to the limelight. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's not something that the child is just doing for the first time and then you just say, okay, this child is having this.
I'm sorry let me drift a bit from the question. Our parents, should I not say our parents were the one that's, because these things that parents do, that when a child is growing, maybe the child is 5 years old, you notice that the baby is always working with electricity, is always cooking, is interested in the kitchen. The parents be like, okay, you know what, go and study this in school. And some parents actually pressurize them kids to actually go study that. So should we say, and at the end of the day, you see the child growing up with that. And in some cases, it's not what they really want, but they are doing it because the family or the parents actually wanted them to do it, because the mom or the dad thinks that is what fits the baby due to what the child has been doing while growing up. So what do we call that?
I would say that's impatient when you come to the aspect of parents choosing career path for their children. Now let me take, for example, my little niece at home. She's 4 years old. She always tell you, I want to be a police person. That's what she always tell you. I will arrest you. When you ask why you want to be a police, she said, so that if you steal, I will arrest you. No, she said some things. Now, I wouldn't say because she's saying this now, then that is what she wants to become. I'll allow her. If this statement continue till 10, 11, 12 years, then I know that, yes, this is actually what this child wants to become. Then you push him or her that way. Because actualization changes is stage by stage. What I see as my self-realization as a child from 5 to 10 years differs from 10 to 15, from 15 to 20, from 20 to 30. They are all different. That is stages. Now, let me just say, when you meet a child who is 5 to 10, what is their own self-actualization? Is to make good grades, take first in school, be the best in my class. But once that child leaves that stage, it changes. It's no longer that I want to be first, I want to take good grades. It now tends, okay, let me work towards achieving, maybe I want to become a doctor, okay, let me work towards how to become a doctor. It changes. Now, when you continue going, even as your age is going, that is the way it is changing. So it comes in different stages and different experiences. Someone might decide to do something today and feel like this is what I have said in myself, I want to achieve. But life will tell you, no, this is not what it is. So in that, we say that what you actually want to achieve at that particular point is not your real self. And that was why that's why I like this man, Abraham Maslow. He has already made this in his hierarchy of needs. He has break it down into 5, whereby the first need is what? Basic needs, which is food and shelter. So as a child, my self-actualization is what? Food and what? Shelter. Now, as you are growing up, it now moves from food and shelter to what we call as societal acceptance. How do people see me in the society? From there, it moved down to self-esteem. From self-esteem down, before you now get to the last, which is this self-actualization. So when this 4 is not being achieved, the last one cannot come in.
All right. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I agree with her. I would say this particular mentality of parents choosing, okay, this is what I want my child to do, I think it is no longer in existence now. That was then, because a lot of things have changed. Parents have also come to understand that me choosing a career for my child is not really going to work, because that child may be doing something, just as you said, when he was still a baby, he's always loving this. If that is really that child's potential, he or she will grow with it.
That's it.
You understand? Just as you said, parents are there to what? Guide.
There are some kids that will actually go along with it too.
Yes.
But then when they are don't going, they will not come back to start from beginning, to start pursuing their own dreams.
You know, this self-actualization we are talking about, someone can actually push you into it, even if it is not what you really want to do, or that is not your destiny.
Right.
But so far as you are doing it, you can develop love for it. Then it will become your self-actualization. But if along the line it is not really what your destiny is, you can, at a point in time, you change, just as you said. You will start from the beginning. You understand? That means you are now blessed with what, two potentials.
Two potentials. Yeah. So is it something that you create, or is it a standard the society created for us, this self-actualization? Society has some percentage to it, but you as an individual, you have the greater percentage. You are the player of that, your self-actualization. So society will just distract you a bit, bring some norms and beliefs that are not really in accordance with what you want to do. Okay.
But if you are very, very, your mind is made up, and you know what you are going to do, you know the potential, you know the goal, and you start running for it, society is not going to have too much effect on it, because you already know where you are going.
No, I think that, pardon me to say this, but during our father's period, or our father's time, there wasn't anything like self-actualization, was there?
There is.
There was?
Yes.
It's more like they are goal-driven. They just want to be this or want to be that. But I don't think there was that much of a pressure as it is right now.
Yes, that's why I said earlier on.
So I think the society has a more higher percentage compared to we individual. Because, what do you think?
I disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
Self-actualization is personal experience, and it is subjective to individual. Now, society has less or no role to play in that.
Okay.
Because what you see as your self-actualization may not align with societal demands. So they have no role in that. If I decide today to become, let me say, a dancer, that is what I want to become. I need to actualize that. I wouldn't wait for the society to look at what the society has to say about that before I would achieve it. Now, coming back to, said, our father time, during our parent time, most of those that actualize themselves were tagged stubborn students.
Really?
I would use my own father as example. My father today is a master holder, but he will tell me that when his mates were in school, the parents wanted him to be in the farm.
In the farm?
As in every day whenever he's talking, let's say that he trained himself to wherever he is today. His parents never gave him a dime. And when a man met me, like, this child really wants to study, so I'm going to support you. So what he does then was, those days they have evening and morning class. So in the morning, he'll go to the farm for the parents. In the evening,
he goes to school.
He goes to school. And because the parent never wanted him to go to school, you have to pay your school fees by yourself. What he does during weekends now, he will go and do some jobs to get all these 1 naira at their time to pay for his fees. So if he had actually looked at the societal standard, I'm not sure he would actually actualize that his self-dream. So when you watch anybody from the 80s, 70s that actually achieved something, if they were 100, only 30% were those that their parents actually support. The others were those that tag as, you, this child, you are a stubborn child, you don't need to listen. But because that child know what he or she is saying, and said, this is where I'm going to, they stay on that lane and get that.
So, Mr. Majesty, achieving self-actualization, does it truly make one happy?
Of course.
You find happiness in achieving it.
If you really know what you are fighting for, if you know what you are aiming at, it gives you that self-happiness. You understand? Let me take myself for example now. When I started all this, my acting of the thing, and the country I found myself, My siblings were against me. My elders, they were against me. Are you sure you can really do this? Are you sure this country can do this? I told them, this is a talent. This is God-given talent. And I started acting right for my tender. So if you want me to take... For my tender.
Really?
Yeah.
And your parents agreed with it?
At a point in time, they were like...
Because I remember when I told my dad I've been saying this since, when I told my dad I wanted to do music, my father rebuked me.
Yeah, maybe because you're a lady. I have this strong, whenever I want to do anything, so far as I know where I'm going, I don't even want to hear what you are saying. You can talk and talk, but at the end of the day, you still do what I want to do, because it gives me that happiness. So when they were against me, my elder brother called me several meetings. Are you sure you really want to do this? Are you sure entertainment, this and that and that? You are not in Nigeria, you are not in this. Focus on your education. I told them that actually I'm going to the education. You guys are paying and I'm going to the school, I'm making my good grades. But you see, this one that whenever I'm doing it, whenever I'm called on stage, just imitate, do this. It gives me that joy, that happiness. So at a point in time, they all were like, okay, if this is what you want to do, then go on.
Go on with it.
You understand this now? And sometimes if I tell them I want to do something now, they will just tell me. Sometimes they still have that kind of, I'm resentment. Not really in support of this. So sometimes if I ask them for help or this, they'll tell me they don't have. But I know they do. But me that is in the field now, I'm just happy. When I'm gaining something, I'm not gaining anything. But so far as I am fulfilling that particular zeal, that joy, I'm okay with it.
You were saying it's different. I heard you say something.
I said mine is different because I came from a family where they support you.
Really?
What they do once you just come to idea, they'll tell you, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because my father always tell you, I don't want to be held accountable for your failure.
Wow.
Meaning, when you fail, it was your decision that made you fail. And if you succeed,
it's still your decision
that made you succeed. So he always tell you, whenever you bring, he will tell you, okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, I'm suggesting this, but
he won't impose it.
If you are going for this, I would support you. I would say, I'm acting. At least my dad was one who paid an amount of money to actually write about me in my community magazine. How many parents would do that for you?
Nobody will, actually.
Do you know, or like my daughter, they had to, I want to write about her in a community magazine, and he paid for his space just for me. I didn't ask for it, but you all said, let me just support what you are doing. But some people to be like, when that happened, I remember when my auntie called me from Nigeria. I heard you're acting, Shawu, they don't marry you. that was I'm not, they don't marry you, don't do. I said, auntie, enough. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. This lady that never called me on phone, called me, as in for 2 good weeks, telling me that's what you are trying to do. No, it's not in our family. I said, his family again. I'm just giving an example of my own personal experience.
Okay, so finally, before we start wrapping up, is it harder to achieve self-actualization in today's busy, consumer-driven world? Mr. Majesty, the question is for you.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Okay.
Just as I've been saying from the beginning of this show, that it depends on the individual.
Okay.
Everybody is busy, struggling, fighting.
When I say today's consumer-driven world, we are doing... When you go to school, you graduate, you come into the workspace, get a job. It's the 9 to 5 kind of job, busy schedule and everything. That's what I'm asking. Yeah. So is it harder to actually achieve the self-actualization in this kind of...
It is.
Okay.
It is 50-50.
Oh, okay.
You understand? In anything you are doing, whatever you are doing, how you are doing it, it all depends on the individual. I don't judge my thing based on a group. You as an individual, you have a lot to do. So no matter how busy the society, no matter how they're consuming, you as an individual, what is your zeal? What is pushing you? You understand? What is that drive? Where are you going to? Where is your eyes fixed on? So when it becomes harder, you as an individual, you are not going to encourage yourself. When everybody is going to be against you, you are not going to tell yourself, if they should be against me, I know where I'm going to, so I should go for it.
How about you, Miss Promise?
In our world today, I would say it is, because there are a lot of things that will distract you from achieving that. For just as you said, it's like someone that works from 5 to 6 every day, and you are back when you come back, like you take your phone, social media, one distraction. You might forget. By the time you remember what you want to do, time has gone. You want to sleep.
Yeah.
Now others. What about those around you? Societal stigmatization. Okay, this is what I'm trying to do. Will the society
agree
with
it?
me? Then another thing is your personal self too. What part are you towing on? What part are you? Because most times I always say when we want to actualize our dreams or ourselves, one thing is this: have you discovered that person who you are? Now, two, look around you. Do I have resources that would actually carry on these dreams with me? If I don't have the resources, are those around me able to help me? Do you understand? Okay, those are around. Okay, now if I don't have, do I have a cycle that can actually help me achieve this?
Okay. Now, before we wrap up, is it a myth, self-actualization? Should we say it's a myth? Or is it something that is actually existent?
For me, it's actually existing.
Is it achievable or is it a myth? That's the question. Sorry. Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it's not a myth.
Okay.
It's achievable. If only. I only use the word if, because for you to achieve your dreams or yourself, it takes a process.
Right.
That's first. I have discovered what I want to do. Now, two. What are do I have the resources available
for those things?
These things. Do you understand? So when you now look at all these things, you say that I cannot achieve this. Most times, if you see people not
going further
for that. But there are some people who will tell, even if I'm at my 50s, I would still do this. My dad, for example, got his BSc. He was almost 54. He got his BSc.
So it's possible.
He was 50. So he told me that he has always dreamt of this. But at a point, what he did was he did abandon this. But he now said, let me do other things.
And come back to it. How about you, Mr. Majesty? Is it a myth? Is it achievable?
Very, very achievable.
Okay.
You need to plan. You need to observe. You need to take your time. You need to watch your cycle. Watch your society. Watch, when we are talking about this thing, most time we put our mind on what will people say. You understand? Are they really going to support me?
Right.
Are they really going to be clapping for me? That's why I always say, you yourself be your number one fan.
Right.
Always encourage yourself. The society will be against you. Your immediate family will be against you. Your friends will be against you. They will start discouraging you. Are you really sure that thing you want to do, you can actually achieve it? So self-actualization is very, very 100% much what achievable.
All right then. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. We've actually come to the end of today's show. Like they said, self-actualization is achievable. It's not a myth. Second of all, first of all, you have to find yourself. To reach self-actualization, you have to first of all find yourself. What is your purpose before we even start thinking of bringing it into reality? Is it possible? Yes, but it has a lot to do with discipline. In today's distracting world, it's actually possible for you to be who you want to be, but then it takes discipline for you to get there. Thank you very much for coming, Miss Promise. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, before we wrap up the show for today, I want to give a special shout out to our production team. First of all, a big shout out to our producer, Mr. Jerry Etonam. Thank you very much, Sir Jerry Etonam, for your love and support for the lifestyle show. And then we also have the director, Mr. Richard Kofanga, his assistant, Christian Obanikwe. And then we also have the broadcasting team, Mr. Eku Florent, Mr. Senor Wompa, and the camera guy Fofo Golo. Now, this all are our production team crew. We want to say a very big thank you to you guys for always taking out time to produce the show. Thank you all very much for joining us today. Until we come your way next week, stay blessed, stay safe. Plenty love from me to you. Bye bye.